video. What I have for you today are court documents that were filed today. This is not common knowledge yet. It's still new because this paper was just filed. So I presented these documents with Crime Time with Jess, another YouTube content creator, earlier today. The way that I came across these documents is every day I've been checking in with all of the people that have been arrested surrounding Dylan Round's missing person case. So I just so happened to be on the phone with Jess from Crime Time with Jess when I looked up any new documents that have been filed against James Brenner. His name's Jim, or he goes by Jim, I guess, but I'm just going to stick with the James Brenner. He used to be a farmhand for Dylan Rounds. He was arrested on June 20th for felony firearm possession because he was a felon and wasn't supposed to have firearms. So he was arrested on June 20th for that. But today, these new documents were filed, and it actually, in black and white, names him as an official suspect in Dylan Round's case. So this is going to be really quick live. I'm just going to share these documents with you. I'm going to go ahead and pull them up. So it says the United States. Oh, wait. Nope. I'm just going to read off the boxes that are checked or any of the boxes that have like more information and go into more detail. The important one is going to be on page 4 where it names him an official suspect. So it says James Brenner is the defendant. The United States moves for detention based on current information. The United States positions in the preliminary pleading could change after reviewing the pretrial report or learning of additional evidence. The United States reserves the right to assert positions even if the boxes next to these positions are not checked below. Raise additional arguments and file additional pleadings in support of detention. The United States motion for detention is pursuant to USC because defendant is charged with, none of these boxes are checked, so I'm going to go to the next page. At the bottom, E is checked. Any felon that is not otherwise a crime of violence but involves a minor, the possession or use of a firearm or destructive device, any dangerous weapon, or a failure to register under 18 USC. So then below that, B is checked, a serious risk. The defendant will obstruct or attempt to obstruct justice or threaten, injure, intimidate, attempt to threaten, injure, or intimidate a prospective witness. Nothing is checked on this page, so we'll skip to the next. But not limited to the nature and circumstance of the offense charged, including whether the offense is a crime of violence, a violation of Section 1591, a federal crime of terrorism, or involves a minor victim or a controlled substance, firearm, or destructive device. And then right here, this gives more information that's highlighted regarding Dylan Rounds. The defendant was squatting on property belonging to SH and RI that is adjacent to Dylan Rounds. DR was reported missing on May 30th, 2022, and his whereabouts are unknown. The defendant is known to have had contact with DR and is a suspect in DR's disappearance. A search warrant was executed on the defendant's trailer, revealing black powder firearms equipment. DH was interviewed by FBI and admitted that the defendant asked him to hold black powder firearms and a .22 caliber Winchester rifle. The defendant hand-delivered the rifles to DH and asked him to hold them for him. The weight of evidence against the defendant. The weight of evidence against the defendant is strong and should be weighed heavily against him. Eyewitness identification establishes that the defendant removed the firearms and the .22 caliber rifle after being questioned about the disappearance of DR and delivered them directly to DH. The defendant is a convicted felon and cannot possess the .22 caliber rifle. The history and characteristics of the defendant, including the defendant's character, physical and mental condition, family ties, employment, financial resources, length of residence in the community, community ties, past conduct, history relating to drug or alcohol use, criminal history, and record concerning court proceedings. The text, by the way, is really small on my end, and I'm sure it's probably small on yours too, but this is the biggest that I could get it. The defendant has a significant criminal history, including malicious wounding, malicious shooting, and 3 convictions for felon in possession of firearm. The defendant was previously residing in Illinois, where his convictions rest. The defendant has no work history and is currently unemployed and has no verifiable residence. The defendant was trespassing and squatting on the property. I covered his priors in my previous video. This is the very last page. It says the nature and seriousness of danger to any person or to the community that would be posed by the defendant's release. That box is checked. And then the next box checked says how the defendant's proposed residence, employment, or proposed treatment programs have not been verified. And then at the bottom, victim notification, the box is checked that says the victims in this matter seek a no contact order. And then this matter does not involve a victim requiring notification. So basically, DH, the witness, he is obviously being protected, and that's why there's a no contact order. The request is to have James Brenner held, but essentially it seems like the prosecuting attorney is trying to make sure that the witness, DH, is going to be protected if Brenner is not held. So that's where the no contact order comes in. It's just my personal opinion. I think he's going to be held. I think that the FBI knows a lot more than is out there. So yeah, that's it. That's what I have today. I will be doing more videos soon. Thank you for coming to my channel to do this live with me.